That's her by her request, Judge.
I'm not going to follow that.
Even though that's her request?
No, I mean, no, even though it's a request according to what I'm about to receive. But according to this, she was pregnant and she was going to be induced that day, and you decided to, all right, we're off the record. How old are you?
17.
You're 17 and you're doing this foolishness. Things, if you want things, you got to get a job so you can have things. You understand?
A hidden history of violence, a shocking truth revealed in court. This isn't just about an assault. It's about a betrayal of trust, a child's silent witness, and a judge's unyielding demand for accountability. What you're about to hear will expose the devastating impact of domestic abuse, the desperate lengths a victim will go to, and a judge determined to break a cycle of violence. The raw truth will be laid bare, and it will challenge your understanding of justice and responsibility. And 99% of people would have demanded a far stricter sentence here. This is the moment you saw in the preview. But now, let's dive into the full, explosive confrontation.
That's her by her request, Judge.
I'm not going to follow that.
Even though that's her request?
No, I mean, no, even though it's a request, according to what I'm about to receive, he is a person who is hitting on, not in a loving manner, a pregnant person. I mean, was she pregnant at the time?
Sure.
So if, you know.
She's requesting, and I'm sorry, Judge, may I speak?
Sure.
She's requesting it for her convenience. They've been doing custody exchanges for the last almost a year through a third-party person, and it's her request. She reached out to me, filled out an affidavit of non-prosecution, and requested that. So
I'm not following that. So if you all want to withdraw your plea now, you can, but I am not doing a no harmful or injurious contact for somebody who's accused, and I haven't read the steps yet, who's accused of hitting a pregnant person.
That's fine, Judge. They're no longer in a relationship. The only relationship is for the benefit of their children. He has no interest in communicating with her beyond that.
All right, so I'm not going to follow that. So y'all have a choice. Either you can go to jury trial, or either you all can change that part of your plea bargaining agreement.
We're proceeding with the no contact, Judge.
All right, if you all want to change that. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we would just request that you follow the agreement between the state and defense.
Wait a minute. The defense attorney just told the judge that the victim requested there be no harmful contact order, citing convenience for custody exchanges. But think about what we heard in the preview. A man hitting a pregnant woman. How can both of those things be true? It seems like a massive contradiction. The judge certainly didn't buy it, pushing back hard on the idea of allowing the alleged abuser continued direct access. The answer will shock you, but first, the judge is about to get the defendant on the stand and demand some answers directly. What he says next will reveal a chilling lack of self-awareness.
All right, so why do you keep hitting on Stephanie Ortiz? At one point, I'm assuming you loved her because you have children with her.
Yes, ma'am.
So why do you keep hitting on her?
It was just me not being in the right state of mind, me letting my feelings get to myself and not just thinking right and thinking straight.
That makes no sense to me.
Your Honor, it was just my fault. I just let my feelings get to myself, let her get my head in.
Let what?
Let her get my head, and I just reacted in a wrongful way.
No, but I mean, you're up here hitting someone. Honestly, I don't even know why I should follow this plea, but your attorney is telling me that she's filed a affidavit of non-prosecution. But according to this, she was pregnant and she was going to be induced that day, and you decided to put your hands on her. I don't understand how is she getting in your head that you would be hitting a pregnant woman who's about to deliver your child.
No, Your Honor, well, that day wasn't the day we were supposed to get induced, but I believe the hitting was before that, so it was just the marks that had came about.
But you still hit her while she was pregnant, and she was close to her due date. Not that it's appropriate to hit anyone anyway.
No, it's not, Your Honor.
But obviously she was pregnant. And what she's saying in this documentation, I want you to tell you the reason why I'm saying no contact,
Yes, Your Honor.
because what she's saying in this police report is this is not the first time that you've been abusive to her. And the police took photos, and she had bruising and swelling to the eye along with busted vessels in her eye. That's what you did. So the two children you have, is this a boy and a girl, or two boys or two girls?
Girl and
All right. So
The judge just pulled back the curtain, not just on the assault itself, but on the pattern of abuse. She mentioned the police report, the bruising, the busted vessels in her eye, and the chilling detail that this wasn't the first time. Notice how the defendant tried to downplay it to shift the timeline, as if hitting a pregnant woman at any point is excusable. It's a classic psychological defense mechanism, minimizing the severity of his actions. But here's the question that will haunt you. If you were in that courtroom, listening to those details, knowing what his daughter would eventually learn, would you believe his excuses? The judge isn't letting him off the hook. She's about to make this very, very personal.
So how would you feel if your daughter became of age and she ends up with somebody like you who hits on her? Would you be okay with that?
I'll be very upset, young.
And so your daughter is learning what it means to show love is to hit on people, and might makes right. You're going to have to change your ways. You are not to have any contact with Stephanie Ortiz. And anybody else you get into a relationship yet, don't let them meet your publicist. Let them meet you and tell them, hey, want to let you know I had this abusive acts in my background, because then they can make an informed decision about whether or not they want to date you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
That was a moment of stark, brutal truth. The judge just laid out the generational impact of his violence, tying it directly to his own child, his own daughter. She's essentially telling him, your daughter is watching, and you're teaching her that violence is love. Everything he claims to care about, his children, his future, hangs on whether he can internalize that painful lesson. Even the judge, with all her authority, can't force someone to truly change, but she can set the terms. She's making it clear the stakes are not just his freedom, but the future of his family. The deferred adjudication offers a path, but it's a long, difficult one, with very strict conditions.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with Stephanie Ortiz. There's to be the BIPP course, parenting classes, that can be with rainbows. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. That will be waived once he completes parenting classes. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Positive, Your Honor.
And what are you going to be positive for?
No, negative, Your Honor.
Negative? Okay. So you haven't used anything.
All right.
I think Amazon drug tests, do
Yes,
they
yes,
not?
Amazon drug tests, yes, ma'am.
All right, there's to be regular UAs. I'm going to want field visits.
Wait, stop. Rewind that. Did you catch it? We just quickly transitioned from Larry Casillas' case to a completely different defendant, a 17-year-old named Berleo Marquez, charged with aggravated robbery. The administrative details of his plea were rushed through almost like a pattern interrupt, because the real drama here isn't in the legal jargon, but in what the judge is about to say directly to this young man. Notice how quickly she gets to his age and his foolishness. It's a deliberate shift in tone, from the patient, almost pedagogical approach with Casillas to a raw, no-nonsense warning about the harsh realities of prison. She's not just sentencing him, she's trying to shake him awake.
All right, we're off the record. How old are you?
17.
You're 17 and you're doing this foolishness. Things, if you want things, you got to get a job so you can have things. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
For a 17-year-old, you've chosen a hard road for yourself because you're going to prison, 17. And you're going to be in prison with a bunch of people who are there for murders and other things. When you go to prison, don't become institutionalized. You're 17, you still have a chance to make something out of yourself and do better in your life. So keep your head down and do your time and try to improve yourself. You can even take college classes while you're at the prison. And if you dropped out of school and don't have your high school diploma, you can get your high school diploma while you're there. So don't come out of prison having just wasted time, okay? All right, good luck to you.
And just like that, 2 two men faced the consequences of their actions. One given a chance at redemption through deferred adjudication, the other, a 17-year-old, sent to prison with a stark warning. Both cases highlight the immense power a judge wields, not just in handing down sentences, but in attempting to steer lives. But what do you think? Did Larry Casillas get off too easy given the history of abuse? And for Burleo Marquez, at just 17, is 5 years in prison a wake-up call or a life sentence to the system? Put yourself in their shoes. What would you do to break the cycle? Let us know in the comments below. And for another case that will challenge your beliefs about justice, check out tomorrow's video where a shocking confession turns a seemingly open and shut case completely upside down. You won't believe what happens next.